Hi, this is Charlotte with another Monday mini mindset masterclass, also known as the Mindset Minis. How you doing? Do reach out in the chat and let me know if you ever have any questions or there's a topic you'd like me to cover. Do just pop it in the chat. Comments are on. So I just thought I would talk today about our imagined perception of how a job is going to be. So one of the things I think that's disappointing when we don't book work, aside from maybe the money or the credit, is our imagined idea of what that experience is going to be like. And this is true of lots of things in life. Sometimes when a relationship ends, we're not grieving the end of the relationship, but how we imagined that relationship would move forward. And so we're grieving something that is in part real and is in part fictitious, imagined. And as we do more and more jobs, we gain a kind of perspective that sometimes jobs are not all that they're cracked up to be. Now, sometimes they are, of course. Some casts are like your second family. When the show ends, it's completely disappointing. You get great reviews or a testimonial, the director takes you on to the next play or whatever, and it's the beginning of something, or it's you're part of something really special. Sometimes we do jobs and that's not how it goes. Sometimes we take a job and the things change. So for example, I was in a play where the director had taken me, on. I'd worked with the director before, but then the director and the writer at some point came to the conclusion that they had different ideas on how to do the play. And so that director left and someone else stepped in. And sadly, that rehearsal process was deeply unpleasant for me. And I came home, I was about, just to give this some perspective, I was 26 and I came home most days and cried because it was so horrible what was going on in the rehearsal process. And to be fair, I don't think any of that would have been allowed now. I think we would have called it bullying. But, at the time I just thought I'm the butt of the jokes. And so that wasn't the experience that I hoped it was going to be. Now, there were still some benefits of it and everything's a learning. But I'm just saying sometimes when we don't get the job, we're grieving for what we imagine, but that's not actually how the reality might tally up. And this occurred to me because a client of mine had excitingly had two jobs on the table and was trying to decide which was the one to do at that particular moment. And the one that she didn't do actually turned out that the cast, I don't know, there were lack of communication or whatever went on there. She ended up staying in contact with the team and maybe building a better relationship with them than the people who ended up being in that production. So just nothing is the same and nothing is consistent. And our experiences are not always identical. So I've done various shows that haven't been great for me, and some shows that have been brilliant and wonderful, amazing for me. I've had the mixed spectrum, and that's part and parcel of it. Except that I can also look back and go, maybe there were some jobs I shouldn't have done because I knew ahead, and somewhere I couldn't have possibly known. Like I say, when the director who you love and trust switches out with someone else, and suddenly it's a completely brand new kind of kettle of fish. So I guess what I want you to take from this is that when you are disappointed that you don't book a job, just try and separate out what you're genuinely disappointed about with what you imagine you've lost. Make sense? Because sometimes the work isn't as good as we think it's going to be, from the team. And the guidance on our part isn't as we want it to be, or the relationships within the cast aren't what they want it to be. It isn't always easy. Casts are like families, and they have the psychological family dynamics that most families have. Most families, let's face it, are a little bit dysfunctional. Okay, add to that the pressure of performing and being out there. So it can be absolutely beautiful, and it can be hell. So next time you're disappointed that you didn't get something, I want you to think about the imagined versus the real. Yeah, maybe you've dodged a bullet. Maybe the universe has put you right where you need to be, which is free to not have the headache of that job and to be free for what you're meant to be doing instead. So, yeah, that's what I want to talk about today. Sometimes we don't get these things till we've been in the industry a while and we've got perspective. You've got to have had more than one or two or three jobs to have context. And so being, you know, several decades into acting and into this. I just wanted to give you that perspective. It's good jobs and bad jobs. Maybe the one you're disappointed you didn't get would have been awful or just not right for you. Yeah. So cool. So if you can, be disappointed about what's real, not by what's imagined. I will see you at the next Monday Mini Mindset. Again, please like and share. And if you want to be notified about this, because I tend not to sort of nag via emails. I think people don't need that. But yeah, hit notifications. All right. Have a great week. Bye.